Hi everyone. I think I've got my lighting okay today. It is really dark outside for morning. Terrible weather we're going to be getting. Today it's supposed to start really raining. Yeah, so today I thought I would work on some of the ephemera that I will be adding to the book. And I've cut a couple of mats out. Two different styles there. One is, got the nice little lacy edge, and this one is the scalloped edge, but I hardly ever use this one, to be honest with you. And I thought maybe I should. I found this one in my stash that I had cut out from another kit. Anyway, it's scrap paper, so I found that. I don't know that I'll use it, but this is part of the kit, and I want to mat it. And I'm not sure whether I'm going to mat it on this or this one. This one doesn't fit quite as nicely because it's a different dye. These ones, this and this, are the same company, so they are all designed to sort of go together. I think edging this in some gold, I think that'll be really nice. I'll use this for something else. I really love this one, but I use it all the time. And I wanted to work on these, and I had this idea that I want to add glossy accents to these. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I put it in this fine line bottle, but they don't work. I don't know, maybe it's me, but I ended up just taking the, needle out of this, and I just use it straight from here, and that seems to be okay. So anyway, I just wanted to raise the flowers a little bit, and I don't want a lot because it really warps it since it's just paper. So I'm just going to do that, and then I'm going to spread it. And what am I going to use? I'll just use the tip of this and just spread it a little bit. Apparently loves this paper because it's just soaking right in. These are printed on a photo paper. I always approach things like, well, if it doesn't work out, I'll just print it again. I've been working on an add-on kit for this Graceful Women. Okay, yeah, I don't think I'm going to like this. Let's get it finished and then don't make judgments, right? Wait till you finish it, Cheryl. Yeah. I don't know. I don't do well with glossy accents, to be honest with you. I think it's because I'm kind of impatient. Yeah, that might work better. I'm not squeezing, I'm just letting it kind of come out on its own. Yeah, we'll see. You don't really know until it's absolutely dry, and depending on how thick you get it, yeah, it could take a while. So after all this, I hope the lighting is going to be okay. I think it is, but I've tried several short videos just so I could go over it and see if the lighting's better. What I ended up doing was taking my other lamp and putting it behind me. Hopefully that'll help. I get a lot of shadowing in here. And I've watched videos on how they set up their lighting, but they got these big, huge rigs and stuff, right? Oh, and that reminds me, I had mentioned before how I thought it'd be kind of fun to do a live version, you know. I don't think it's going to be possible for me to do that. Just what's required for the setup, and I don't have the proper computer. Like, I use a Surface, and my brother's gonna actually look into it for me. He used to be a networker for the hospitals, so he's definitely more tech savvy than I am. But it's from what I researched anyways, there's going to be kind of an expense going on. My biggest thing was, well, how do I film it so that you guys can see me working this way? Well, now you're seeing me work this way, but only because I flipped my video around. When I'm working, when I'm filming it to start with, it's upside down. So then I take the video and I put it in some software and I spin it around. Well, I can't do that for live. So I thought, well, how do I do that? Well, I found that you can get what's called a C-stand. And I guess because it is actually shaped like a C. And then I can suspend my camera above me but behind me, so you're looking down as I'm looking down. And so my brother said, why don't you just make one? I thought, yeah, okay. So that's an option. But then it was like getting the streaming is the problem now. That I don't know, you need some sort of special cable. I have an HDMI camera, that's what I'm using, but most of them use an actual point and shoot camera. I'm using a camcorder. So you have to have this box that you put one cable into, and then you have another box, or not another box, a different cable. You have to have an HDMI cable. And so it ended up, when I looked into it, I thought, holy moly, that's going to cost me a lot of money. And I don't have it. So I'm thinking live is not going to be feasible in the near future, maybe further down the line. But for now, I think you're just going to have these pre-recorded ones. It's too bad. I thought it'd be really fun to get messages and yeah. Anyway, that's the way she goes. Oh, I don't know why I closed that up, because I wanted to do it on the other one. We'll see how that dries. It looks pretty right now, but it might dry super warped. But we'll see. I have to set it off, way off. I'll put it up here. And then I won't smear it. I'm so good at doing that. I do that with my stickles all the time. I forget, and I put my thumb in it, and yeah. This one should really pop because of the dusty pink in it. I decided that I'm going to add a bit of color. Just try and stick to just dusty pink, or versions of that. Just to add a wee bit of color. I really wanted this very muted and neutral palette. I like changing it up. I've also been working on those background pages, but I'm kind of stuck for ideas right now. I think I did one that was, it's got a music background. One has a newspaper. One has an advertisement page. And I think I did a fourth one, but I'm not sure what that was. I'll have to look back at them. I think I printed them out, but maybe I didn't. I don't know. I'll check for you. So what I want from you guys, after I show you the add-ons, if you could give me a couple more ideas on making the kit a little bit bigger than it is. I've done a postcard page, a butterfly page, a trifold. I don't even know, you can't really call it a card, but it's a trifold page, I'll show you. And then I did a journal page, but I did that several different ways, but I mean that was really no effort on my part. So I'd like another idea for some ephemera. I mean there's postcards in this kit, there's tags, there's mini tags, there's large tags. I don't know. There's a mini envelope. There's a mini coin pocket. So let me know if it's feasible. I'll do it. Anyway, you can just let me know in the comments. We'll go from there. I'm just going to add a little bit down here on this little bud. And then set that aside. I think it's sort of covered. I don't know. Sometimes I look at things cockeyed. And what I think looks covered ends up not being covered. Okay, well, we'll see how that goes. Alrighty, let's put you away. Now, I'm going to show you these pages if I can find where I put them. Are these it? Yes. Okay, so this is the add-on. So I've done very muted, a light pink, and then the damask, which is kind of the theme. There's a lot of damask in this. And then I did a calendar page. That was the other one. So when you fold it in half, you get a nice full month. And I printed it both sides so that actually when you put it in, you actually have 4 months. And here's the trifold. So what I do is I bend this one underneath this page. I glue it down the sides, and then it becomes a slide pocket. And then you attach this side onto your page, and you can also leave the back of that open for another tuck, or not, or put it on the side. I haven't decided how I'm doing that, but I did that, and then I printed a plain damask on the back. So that's also in, the damask is also there. Then I did 4 more postcards, and this is a journal page. So I've done it 2 ways. Or did I do it 3? No, I did it 2 ways. One with the lines and one without the lines. This one I did horizontal, and then I switched it around and did a vertical so that the damask doesn't look like it's sideways. So that's all in the add-on kit so far. But like I said, I need a couple more ideas. I think in this kit there's well, there's quite a bit. This is something I'm going to put in the book. I did this a long time ago, and it's been sitting in my stash, so I'm going to add that somewhere. So there's there's mason jars, there's lots of minis, postcards, only 2 though, which is why I did another sheet of postcards. I really love postcards. I did a medium-sized tag. So there's 3 of those, I think, and then 3 of the large shipping tags. There's also the coin pocket, the little booklets. There's 4 of those. There's belly bands, 2 sizes, which you saw the small one, then the large ones. Oh, and then I did these pockets. Now I like to put mine, they're not, you can put them on the bottom, but I like to put mine up and then add some nice trim, and then it's kind of like a belly band in a way. So I'll probably do 2 as pockets and 2 as belly bands, because you get 4 on a sheet. And that's all. Oh, this is the other thing that's included. Oh, and the little envelope. So if you can think of something else you'd like to see in there, like I said, leave me a comment. Try not to smear my... Okay, then I wanted to show you the background pages. Hang on. I think I've got some printed out. Here they are. Okay, so this is going to be in a kit. I just haven't finished it. So map. That was the other one. So I did a map background. I did a kind of a colored damask background. And then this one is the music notes. And this one is the newspaper. And then there is the ad, but I don't think I have it printed. Maybe I do. I don't know. No, I don't think I do, guys. No. But there's an ad one anyways. Very similar to all these. And so I want to do maybe a couple more and put them in as a probably grungy journal pages version, whatever. Version number 1000, I don't know. Okay, so let's get on with this. Now, I'm going to attach this here. And just yell at me if I'm not in frame anymore, you guys. Now, what did I do with my glue stick? Oh, so, update. Our house is wrapped. Yay! I'm so excited that they've started. So my husband's happy because, you know, with the wet weather coming, you don't want to have your house exposed all the time like that. It had the old tar paper on it, but this is better. So now they won't be here till Monday. Today is Thursday. And they don't work weekends. So they won't be here till Monday, which is perfect because Ken has a couple of things he wanted to get done before they come back. One is installing our new toilet downstairs. Decided that the old one was going to be leaking, and we weren't really concerned because we're going to rip that bathroom apart. Well, I said, well, that kind of blows because he's got to put that in and then take it out again, which is kind of dumb. But he said, well, you know, they're going to be here for a whole month. You're not going to want them traipsing through your house and using your upstairs bathroom. And I thought, well, I mean, I don't care, but I guess he does. So that's fine. That's what he wants. So he got it installed, but the hose that came with it isn't quite long enough. So he has to stop at Home Depot today and get a new hose for that. Okay, when I do stuff like this, I like to set heavy things. And I have an old cutting board, which works great because it's nice and big. It'll cover an entire page. So I'm just going to shove that under my cutting board over here. And then I want to do... I'm going to let that dry, and then what I'll do is I'm going to trim it in gold embossing powder. I'm going to do that on this one. Now, where did I put it? Here's the gold. And I need my little... I like to use the pen when I'm just using edges. Oops, what happened there? Okay, here you are. This one's a Ranger Emboss It pen. I'm still undecided whether I like this one or the Versamark better. I'm not sure. I guess this one works okay. None of them last very long. You can't refill them. It's just the way they are, right? I mean, I've used my Versamark one for a long time, and when it kind of gets so that it doesn't want to lay down any more of the ink, then I dip the tip in the ink pad. It works. Okay, I still haven't gotten my new embossing gun. I've been using this one, the heat tool, which I love, but it takes longer to do this kind of thing. My other one blew up, so anyway, I'm just going to do it off camera, you guys, because I don't want it blowing all over my work surface. Every time I turn that thing off, I see the flicker. Oh, hang on a second. My sister-in-law needs my address. Her car died yesterday, and it's, for some reason, it's right in front of my house. I don't know why. Anyway, she needs the address for the tow truck. Okay, there she goes. Real life, guys. I'm not stopping video for that. It's the age we live in, right? What else was I going to tell you? Oh, and the weight loss front. I haven't lost a whole lot. Last month. Not really, hardly anything, to be honest. And I'm not quite sure why, because I really, well, I guess I have been snacking a little bit more than I was at the beginning. So I've probably upped my carbs and not realized how much I've upped them. But it could just be, you know, my body's gotten comfortable as well. That happens. I'm not going to do anything drastic. When it comes, it comes. Yeah, whatever. So I was mildly disappointed, not hugely so. I did have a loss, not a whole bunch. It was funny because 2 days before that, I actually was down 1.5 pounds. So body fluctuates, right? So I go by what my lowest weight was because I know that's what I really am. And, you know, when I do the weighing on the first of the month, then for recording purposes, I still do that one. I go by that one. Even though I know, yeah, it's more than that. So if I go by what I know I am, I've lost just over 36 pounds. And it's been, you know, since January, so it's not fast. It's about 3 to 4 pounds a month average, which is perfect because quicker than that, and you end up with major droopy skin. I mean, I have that, but not as bad as my husband had it because he lost so fast. It's crazy how fast he lost. He started 2 weeks after me. And I think on keto, he lost probably 100 on keto, close to 100. He'd already lost probably 30 to 40 pounds before he started keto, but then it just kind of didn't do anything. So that's why he wanted to switch to keto and do it with me, which I was very happy that he decided to do that because it sure makes life easier when you're both eating the same way. My brother's having a real hard time because his wife, she's totally a junk food junkie. She's very athletic, like, you know, she does triathlons all the time. So she's always cycling, swimming. She swims every day, I think. And so she's very active. Well, if she wasn't, she'd be 10-ton Tessa, the way she eats. Like, she's always bringing Dairy Queen home. And that's an ice cream store for you guys who never heard of that. And junk. She just eats junk, right? Which, in my mind, yeah, you can be as athletic as you want, but how are you health-wise? Just because you can run farther than most people doesn't mean you're going to be healthy with all that junk you're putting in your body. Anyway, yeah, I don't say anything. It's none of my business. But he struggles because he wants to get... He'd lost quite a bit before we went to Hawaii. He came with us for the first 2 weeks. And he'd dropped over 40 pounds. And he was probably... He started at probably 50 pounds overweight. So he was pretty much almost at goal. And I'm going to take this thing off. It's starting to bug me. It's just the protective thing that I had put on there. But it reflects the light. So I folded it back. But now it's in the way of my arm. Yeah, so... Anyway, that's kind of what's happening there, and he's struggling because he wants to go back to, excuse me, he lost his through a Shoppers Drug Mart. It's a weight loss program, and Shoppers Drug Mart is, yeah, drugstore here in Canada. And they have a, I can't call it keto. It isn't. To me, I don't like it. Honestly, I looked at the stuff and I thought, you know, you're adding a whole bunch of junk instead of clean eating. Just do it, clean eating. He goes, well, it's really hard because he's still making, she's not interested in eating that way. So going on this other program, there's no real cooking. You've got, your meals are prepped, right? So he just found it easier. He said he's just going to go on it for 6 weeks and then he's going to switch to keto. And I said, just don't tell her it's keto. My goodness, the food is amazing. So just don't tell her, just because he works from home and she works for the hospital. So she's got long, long days. And so he does the cooking. He likes cooking. Anyway, but like he said, it's frustrating because it's a lot more work. And don't I know it? I did that for years, trying to diet and cook meals for my husband and my son, and yeah, that just wasn't happening, right? I never stuck to anything for any length of time because I was pooped from all the cooking, and you finish somebody's cooking and then you have to start your own. Now I always ate after everybody else, and yeah, I got sick and tired of doing that. So anyway, what I'm doing with this is I wanted to use my deep edge punch that I have. I love this one. And I wanted to add it to the flips. So I've done the flips using the same paper. I'm not sure I'm going to actually do this, but we're going to give it a whirl. See what happens. I'm not measuring anything. I'm just, you know, using this to start to see if I like it. And if I don't like it, I'm going to use it somewhere else. So it's not a big concern. Look at that, I did that perfect. Unintentionally, but I did it. This is the Martha Stewart. Don't know if you can still get these, guys. I know there's Martha Stewart kind of back in at Michael's, but not a lot at ours. I don't know about the States, but not a bunch at ours. Yeah, so what I thought, I want to add this to the bottom instead of lace, you know, do something a wee bit different. Because I really love this punch. I also want to pull out, what is that stuff called? Seam binding. I have tons of this stuff and I always forget to use it. So yeah, I think this is going to look rather pretty. What I'm going to do is cut it so that it's going on the top. So I'm going to add it here. So I'll just take a little off there, and then I'm going to add some trim over it. I don't know, that just came to me this morning. So yeah, I kind of wanted to be sort of prepared, knowing what I was doing, because otherwise it's super boring for you guys to watch. As I'm going, what should I do here? Yeah. So, thought I'd prepare a little bit ahead of time. So I'll do that. I think I'm going to do that on every flip. I really like that look. Where am I going to put my cutting board? I've got, you wouldn't believe, I've got an iPad over there. I've got a Surface over here. And so everything is covering my stuff. And I'm running out of places to set things. It's awkward, you know, with trying to have the light just the right way, and I wish I was better at that kind of thing, because I really want it to be quality video for you guys, you know. I want that side there. Okie dokie. Let's glue that down. And I'm going to glue it from this side. And I really hope I'm staying in frame. Yeah, I'm not used to looking up when I work. So what else was I going to tell you? Well, I had a little, I don't know. Do you guys struggle with keeping your cutting pads flat on your die cutters? I've always struggled with that. So one day I had to replace mine. Let's say that. Mine was super warped. So I had to replace it. And I had a new one. And I started, don't know why I started doing this, but I started rolling it from end to end. I have the Big Shot Pro, so it's the really long one. And lots of times I'm just doing a small die. So, you know, typically I would crank it just past the die and crank it back. And that would be it. Well, I stopped doing that. I started going from end to end, or even just one pass. Just depends on my die. If I know that it takes 2 passes, then I do 2 passes. But if it's a really good die and I don't need to do that, then I just do 1. Well, I've had it now, using it for 3 or 4 months, I'd say, and it's still not warping. So I'm guessing all that time that's what I was doing wrong, was not going all the way through to flatten out your cutting pad. So give that a try if you're having issues like I was having issues. See if that works for you. And I know people say, oh, you can just put them in the microwave to flatten them or whatever. It wouldn't fit in my microwave, for one thing. And I don't know how healthy that would be. I don't know. Yeah, putting stuff like that in your oven or your microwave, I don't know how I feel about that. So I just wanted it to work properly. And I mean, now it does. What do you think of that? Is that pretty? I like it. And I had this idea. Let me grab my, where did I put them? I moved my craft room, guys. And I have a whole box full somewhere. Ah, found it. You might hear a crash. Okay. I told ya. Now, I've got 1 or 2 things. I love this color. I want to do something very, very muted, and I have this color. I like this color. Let's bring the pages over and see where we're at with that. Because I really don't want it to be, yeah, that's really pretty. Yeah, let's do that. This is really nice too. And the nice thing about this one, the thing about these guys is they never tell you the name of the color on here. Unless this one does. Oh, this one has a sticker. These ones didn't have stickers. This one is actually called beige. But all the rest of mine, yeah, they didn't have stickers. I don't know why. They just didn't. But if I was to recommend anything, like I love the Hug Snug. Buy white. Then you can spray it. You can spray it any color you want. You can tea stain it, coffee stain it. And yeah, it's cheaper. I've got loads of different colors and I pretty much never use them. Except my rust. I love my rust. I do use that when I do like a fall book. But yeah, I got tons of colors. But I'll use it in my sewing. So it's not that big of a loss for me to have, you know, spent that kind of money. So the other thing I wanted to do is I want to make a long piece and ruche it. Now I have brown thread in my sewing machine, so I'm just gonna make some noise, you guys. And you just do a long basting stitch. At least that's the way I do it. I have a foot that actually does it, but this works just as well. And don't tell me I just lost my thread. Ha ha! Okay, I won't tell you, but I did. Give me 2 shakes here. Ah! It's magnetic. Or I am. One or the other. Okay, let's thread this puppy. Come on now. There you go. And in you go. That was just me threading the needle. Okay, real quick. That's it. Done and done. Okay, so there you go. It's just a basting stitch. And then you just pull it. Run it down. You do a little or a lot. I probably won't do too much because I don't want it super bulky. So I'll get sort of an idea of how long I want this and then cut it, and then before I cut it I'll pull up the, like this one here, I'll tie off. Do it this way. Come on. Boy, it's so much quieter here than it was yesterday. Oh, now my husband wants to know if I want to go to Costco with him. No, I do not. I'm working. Anyway, and it's miserable outside. I don't want to go outside. Kind of yicky. Okay, so I'll get an idea here. And then what I'll do is get a little pokey tool to pull up the thread. On this side. so I don't lose it. Like that. Cut that. And then, where are my Tim Holtz scissors? Oh, over here. I will trim that off. Just wondering why he needs to go to Costco. Oh, I'm always scared when he says, "You want to go to Costco?" We always spend way too much money. And I can't think what he needs. Oh, he's probably getting his medication. That's probably what it is. This is a weird thing. They have him on high blood pressure pills, which I think half the world is on, but what's very strange is that he didn't have a problem until he lost weight. Go figure. Yeah, most people get high blood pressure because they're overweight. And the doctor said, well, you're doing everything you're supposed to do. So he can't figure it out. But you know, he said, give it a couple of months and we'll see. Well, it hasn't changed, so he went on it. I don't personally think he needs it, but because I know when you're on keto, your blood pressure is actually a little higher, but all your numbers are better. So it's not a big deal, but you know, it's your body. You have to make that choice, right? And if you feel more comfortable going on medication, then go on medication, right? Anyway, he was nervous because it was diagnosed before we went to Hawaii, and he thought, you know, what happens if something happens and I'm there and I, you know, haven't been on any medication? I mean, yeah, we always get travel insurance, so we don't worry too much about, you know, that kind of thing, because yeah, you'd be crazy to go from Canada to the States and not have travel insurance. Or vice versa, really. You should just have it. And in Canada, you should have it from province to province as well. It's not necessarily going to get covered if you're in a different province from the one you live. Yeah, so far nothing's happened, but yeah, the minute you don't have it, that's when it happens, right? Oh, that does look pretty, doesn't it? Love the colors. It's a very muted yellow. This is just dollar store, it's called scrapbook paper. It's a big, huge pad of it. Not thick pad, but the pages are really big. They're more than a 8.5 by 11. They're much bigger than that. So, I need to answer my husband, and I think that's pretty much all I was going to work on. I was going to show you that. The other thing is still drying, so, and the glossy accents are drying. So I'll work on those as they, you know, cure, and then I'll come back for another video. And I'm probably not going to upload them immediately because I don't want you guys to be overpowered by videos. I'm filming a lot over the weekend because there's no workers here. And once they start, I'm not going to be able to film it all. So I'm going to have a few done, I think. Yay. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye.